second. All right. Episode number 16 of the Third Leg Podcast. I'm your host, Riley Warren, and alongside me, as always, is my co-host, Dr. Dunny. How you doing? How you been, buddy?
Pretty good, not too bad. Long week. Excited to relax and get to talk about sports again.
Oh yeah, well let's hop into the NBA real quick. We had a blockbuster trade to the Suns. Bradley Beal is in the Suns, and Chris Paul is sent to the Shadow Realm to Washington. How do you feel about the trade?
I mean, good for Bradley Beal, right? Gets out of Washington. Sucks for CP3. He's going to Washington. But I don't know if Phoenix knows that the game of basketball is only played with one basketball. Like Booker is going to demand his shots. KD obviously demands his shots. And then you add another ball dominant score, high volume shooter guy to your team. Where's the defense? And are they rolling a second ball out? Is that a new thing they're talking about to make the game more fun? I'm not sure. Maybe the Suns have insider knowledge, but I don't know. I think it'd be interesting. Obviously, their offense is going to be ridiculous, but if they give up 140 points a game, it doesn't really matter.
For sure. They exceed the cap limit without having their fifth starter named. That's without a bench. We're just talking a fifth starter.
Ishbia said to the salary cap.
Fuck the salary cap. We'll talk about it if we lose the chip.
Right. Yeah, then we can think about it. I have heard obviously more rumors that goes along with the Suns because of this trade, maybe trying to get rid of DeAndre Ayton and bring in lower role players, the guys that aren't so high salary, and then can play defense because the other three on the court aren't going to.
Yeah, they're going to have to do something. If they keep Ayton, then I'll be extremely interested in who the fuck they're going to pick up.
Right.
Like who their bench players and their 3 and D, because that's what wins you playoff series, your 3 and D guys. So having, the 3, 4 studs, that's cool, but everyone knows playoffs you need a fucking bench. You need a big team that can cycle through 2 rotations as needed. And right now, which is in the negatives, it'll be intriguing to see who they pick up.
And JJ Redick was on his podcast talking about it, how the discrepancy between like your mid-level player exception versus your league minimum, or like a potential guy who may be ring chasing signing a 1 year deal versus signing a multi-year deal now compared to when he was in the league and starting to get to that age is like crazy. The league minimum for a vet is $2 million. He was saying like upwards of like $10 to $12 million if you're signing a multi-year deal. So to get those guys who are potentially, talking them into okay, just come here for 1 year versus sign somewhere else for 2 or 3 years and get even more money, it's going to be hard for the Suns.
For sure, but I think they have the team to be able to recruit some players in that want a chip and that are ready. Got enough money, 5, 6, 7, 8 years in the league already, went through the main contract and are ring chasing right now. So it'll be fun to see, come season or tip off who's on that team and like what kind of moves they have to make at the cost of their. So what they're going to do this year that's going to diminish the next 7 years, because
Agreed.
at the end of the day, that's what they're going for, a short-term goal. All their eggs in the basket, and this is like their last-ditch attempt to win a chip.
Absolutely. I did see another thing. It was a TikTok video about big threes and big threes that work versus big threes that don't work. Talking about you have to have unique players. They can't be same style players, which is kind of what you run into with KD, Book, and Beal. Um, if you look at it like Boston, the original big three, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, totally different style of players. When you go to the Heat, you have D Wade, Chris Bosh, and then LeBron, which you could argue that D Wade and LeBron were similar, but LeBron is just different, right? He plays a different kind of style. He tailors his game to what he needs to. And then you look at like what KD's gotten into, right? He joins the Warriors, which worked because of the system. I feel like rather than the three players that they had. And then with Russ and Harden, it didn't work. With with Kyrie and Harden, it didn't work. And then Book and CP3, it didn't work. So like KD, you're all of these super teams. You're the main component, but you're not getting championships. I know injuries are big, but I don't know. I just thought it was interesting. You know how maybe GMs aren't even thinking about that. They're just going for the big name guy.
For sure. They're going for the sellouts, basically.
Right. You're gonna put asses in the stands. That's for sure.
I mean, at the end of the Russ, Ibaka, Harden, and Adams, Curry, Clay, Draymond, Kyrie and Harden, CP3, Booker, and Ayton, and now Beal, Booker, and Ayton. Two chips. Two chips. And it was on one team. So that's a lot of wasted talent in years of his prime
Mm-hmm.
by the GM by the GM, all their eggs in the basket and going for it. Doesn't work out, it goes to the next team. Doesn't work out, it goes to the next team. Like how many more times is he going to be able to do this before people are on his ass?
Right, and does he get the free pass? I guess how do you feel about it? Do you view him less than other superstars in the same era that maybe didn't win a championship because the championships he did win, he went to a team that had already won a championship, right? And I don't know. You could argue he was the best player on that team if you look at the stats and how they played and everything, but I don't know. It's just different.
I mean, he did get the MVP, correct? The finals MVP. So yeah, so can't say he wasn't the best player, especially but at the end of the day, I feel like he kind of flies under the radar as one of the team hopping, ring chasing kind of players just because there's LeBron. He's got so much of the spotlight on him that KD, as long as he doesn't say shit, doesn't go on the media and talk some bullshit, then he can just slide under the radar. Everybody knows. Easy money sniper. He's just chill, do shit but ball. So I feel like he kind of gets like an ego pass, whereas like nowhere near this like many high caliber players without winning a ring or even going to the finals. Like a lot of these teams didn't even make it to the finals, let alone lose the chip. So I feel like he kind of just gets a pass and he's kind of lucky. But at the end of the day, if you just look at it, he's hopping around teams every other year. He joined one of the best teams. They didn't win the chip, but they went 73-9. And you were up 3-2 and you lost to him and you joined him the next year. Nobody's going to say shit about that. Like it's just forgotten. It's just forgotten. Just because LeBron. Like if there was no LeBron KD
overshadows it.
Yeah, KD would be in the spotlight. You are hopping teams. You better get rings without Steph pronto. Just for his legacy.
Yep. I mean, I think if he can get a ring without Steph, that'll be, go huge for him, but I don't know. With this team, I don't see it happening. They're the second favorite for the West right now, I think, as far as future NBA for next year, but I don't know. I don't see it happening.
I mean, I'm not going to say I don't see it happening because they're nasty. I'm pretty sure after seeing the trade is a little bit scared. If I was in the West, I'd be a little more frightened, especially with Denver rolling and just winning. I mean, it's going to be stacked over there.
But do you have to worry about Denver as much? I mean, Jokic just found out that if he wins lots of games, he can't go back to.
He'll be fine, bro. He looked like he was having a blast at that parade.
Yeah, he even said, I know I said I didn't want to be here, but I'm fucking happy to be here.
Hell yeah. His PR, I was like, all right, man, you got to like start smiling or something. People are on your ass about this.
Right. You got to look like you care a little bit. Proceeds to lose his finals MVP trophy.
Finals MVP trophy with Jerry, the trainer, buddy.
Right. You got to actually value that thing.
Well, speaking of the West, Kevin declined his player option, $27.5 million. He's an unrestricted free agent. What do you see him going, and what do you think his will be price point wise, for his next team.
It's interesting to look at. Is he trying to leave Golden State, or is he trying to make it more friendly for Golden State to bring in someone that could put them at that next level to help them compete for another championship? Because they are all getting older, right? Kind of like how Steph was getting underpaid, didn't necessarily take all the money to bring KD in, and then once KD left, took his money. Um, is Draymond gonna play, as a team player? And hey, pay me less, bring in someone that's a little bit, can put us over the edge, or is he gonna look to maximize his dollars and maybe go play in Los Angeles? That was rumored earlier in the season, and then now he's been seen with LeBron in France and all the fun jazz. I need to know how much of a, I guess, separation there is between Draymond and Jordan Poole because of the whole incident last preseason. Is that a problem? Is Draymond kind of becoming that cancer in the locker room rather than that outspoken leader in the locker room? He kind of flirts that line a little bit. I don't know. I'm interested to see where he goes. If I had to put my money on it, I would say he's gonna be a Golden State Warrior, but I don't know.
At least his his options are available.
Right, he can go anywhere.
Yeah, he can hop ship, take 15 mil less on a 1 year deal, and just try to go get a chip. Doesn't work out, then he next 2 years. But he can also let Golden State renegotiate and try to figure out who else they're going to bring in with his he were to give up. So I mean, I think at the end of the day, he's just making his options a lot more available, and he's giving Golden State structure his future contract. So we'll see. To me, I don't think he's a make or break on any team.
Right,
I don't think a team would get him in some like conference favorites or anything like that.
right.
But it would be cool to see him at the later stage of his career go
Yep.
try to get more rings. You already did your thing on one team. You can't say he team hopped or did anything. It was all drafted other than KD. So I mean, I wouldn't mind to see him go take 10 mil less to go try to get rings somewhere else. Fuck it.
Yeah, as long as it's not Detroit and he's not coming here trying to be some hard ass leader for these young kids, I would be pissed about that. But
No shot, dude.
yes, stay away from
Career
Detroit. Stay away from home.
his career would end 1 year in Detroit, dude. He wouldn't make it through Detroit.
That's true. That's
Coming
true.
from Golden State, like all the winning regular season, the culture of Golden State, and going to Detroit, good fucking luck. Good luck, buddy.
I know. I know. I know.
I did see Zion. There's some trade rumors with Detroit. Did you see that?
I
It
did.
was,
I
did
was
you?
like, ugh. Do you want to do that? Like, okay, what would the starting lineup be, right? Jaden, Cade, Zion, Jalen Duren, and then whoever you could throw out there. I mean,
It's not
Zion,
bad
if he's on the court, is a legit superstar. Like, he will
for
lead you to
sure.
the playoffs if he plays all 82 games.
My thing is, how much would we give up for him, and what would that? How many role players are we giving up? 80% of our team is like role players that are trade bait. So I mean, we
Right.
would use a lot of the younger guys for trade bait, but what would that set us up for in the next 5 years? Because right now, I don't think we're beating Boston. I don't think we're beating Giannis when he's healthy. Like I don't think we go through the East even with Zion. So like if we get Zion up a lot and we don't do anything in 4 years, then that resets us again another 10 years. Unless we have some, if we get lucky in the draft, which we won't. And even if we'd fucking blow it.
So okay, so what if the trade offer is Zion for the number 5 pick, which we have, Stewart, which is a big guy that we might not need anymore, and then another role player off the bench. You thinking about doing that?
Yeah, sign me up.
I agree.
Sign
If you
me
could
up.
get a trade package like that, I'm all for it.
You
But
can
if
in 2 second rounds for the next like 2 years. like a
Right.
second round next year and a second round year after. For that, that's fine.
Right.
You Hayes, Luca Garza, you could take the whole fucking crew, bro.
Yeah, I mean we're keeping Bogey, keeping the two guards, and Jalen Dern, who's going to be a double double nightmare.
That wouldn't be a bad five. Fifth.
Right, and he's just a sniper, and
Yeah,
they,
he's a shooter. That would be
ball
fun.
dominant. Yep,
I don't think
ball
it went. I
dominant
don't think
players
it gets us
everywhere.
to the by any means, but I think it fills the stadium and gives Detroit a little more hope going into the next year.
And I think it makes it so teams actually have to game plan for the Pistons rather than just roll the ball out. We'll be fine.
Yeah, the second string players will be playing 25 minutes every time they play Detroit.
Right.
We'll win.
All right. We're not
We'll
running
win
pass
more
and pick
than
away.
yeah. We'll win more than 19 games. I
Agreed.
could promise that if Zion's healthy the whole year, we'll win more than 19 games.
Agreed. I agree. Pass and pick away. We're gonna play a little man to man. That'll be it. Have fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Draymond, please and thank you.
Agreed. Agreed. Going back to kind of not the Suns, but Washington side of things. They get CP3. They're kind of blowing everything up here. There's trade rumors for Kristaps Porzingis. Where's he gonna go? And then Kuzma decides he's not going to resign either, so he's going to be looking where he can go or get traded to, I guess. Interesting to see. Sucks if you're Monte Morris, shout out to Monte, but good luck.
Unlucky, bro. Hopefully he
Yeah.
balls out and gets to get on another contract somewhere else, even if
Right.
it's sixth, seventh man on a contention, a team contending. We'll take that. But Washington, I feel, is turning into the new Oklahoma, and
hmm
they're going to start getting as many picks for players as possible to set up the next generation.
Yeah, I think right now it's pretty safe to say where things are right now, I would take the Washington Wizards to have the worst record in the league next year.
Yeah, top three for sure. I think I don't know who the next game tanking for, but I think they already started.
Yeah, they must really like Bronny James.
Dead ass, dude. That's what it is. Damn, Detroit better not trade for Zion. We need to tank again, baby. We need to tank again.
Take for Bronny and Bron. Absolutely insane. I go by Brownie because I don't want anyone to know who I am.
That's got to be one of the dumb. Bronny
LeBron
James.
Jr.
I wonder who he is. Who's his dad? First ever Special Olympics betting. Did you see it? Please tell me that you seen it.
I did. I can't remember which book it's for, but we're all going to hell.
It's Come on, man. Why are we betting on these dudes? And
I'm
D-Gents are
assuming.
going to be slinging bets out. It's going to be electric.
I don't know if it has ever been televised as far as like on national television, but now because of this, it has to be, right? Like, it's going to be where you can watch it.
The best thing is it's going to have the highest numbers ever because of how many degenerates put bets in.
Yep.
Like dead ass.
And
It's going to have the best ratings it's ever had.
we'll be looking for a 100-meter sprinter and a bench press or something like that to bet on.
Yeah, I'm locked in on the wrestling and some pole vaulting. Those are my two sports I'll be locked in on. I'll be sharp.
Jesus.
I need plus EV plays all day from the Discord.
Yeah. Let me just dial those up, talk to my inside guy.
Yeah, let me hit up Johnny Knoxville from the Ringer real quick. I know he's got some insight.
That movie, oh my God. My dad rented it for us. My mom didn't know what it was. And she's like, oh, hell no. Turn this off.
What the? Yeah, that's things that wouldn't fly today for 300, please.
100%. You're getting fired for that idea nowadays.
Yeah, that thought wouldn't go through the first sequence of events.
Definitely not. I mean, obviously there is a sports book that's putting it out there. You can bet on the Special Olympics this year. At least that's the reports that we've seen. Um,
If it's
I
true,
think
there'll be more of the mainstream books that'll also hop on because I think that'll be a big one book is doing it. If only one
right.
book is
There's
doing
money
it,
to be made.
they're gonna have the most signups they've ever had in their life. If there's only one book doing it.
I would say that I would assume that there won't be very sharp lines as far as like where the public knows where to bet because truthfully, like unless you're deep into it and helping out and volunteering, which kudos to everyone who does. I've never personally watched the Special Olympics, so I would not know like where to even start.
First of all, not kudos because if you're in there and you're relaying information about who's better and who's not, then you are a fucking dick. You
Okay,
are the
yes,
town
yes.
mole, but you are a
I'm
degenerate
saying kudos
legend.
to those who are helping out run and volunteering their time to the Special Olympics because
Whatever,
that's
dude. If
awesome.
you don't want to share your connects, just tell me about it.
Don't ghost me when I ask. Lord have mercy.
When it hops on, I will be shooting you a DM. Give me the locks, Dunny. We need a goat whale.
We'll keep everyone posted for when we know more.
Speaking of
Yeah,
the goat whale, go ahead.
baseball. We haven't talked about it in a minute. Baseball. Garrett Cole, we're looking for over 236 strikeouts. He was on the bump tonight, pitching against the Mariners, I believe. He had 98 going into tonight's start, and he had 8 strikeouts tonight, so that puts him at 106 out of the 236. So we need 130 from him. They're about 72, 73 games into the season, so he's on pace. Really would love to see him before the All Star break get up to that 150 mark. That'd be sweet. Over the next few starts, but we'll take it. He's looking good, looking good. Jose Ramirez for the Guardians. We have him at 98.5 RBI. We need 99. He's at 43 going into tonight's game. I did just look before we started. He had a double that got him an RBI. So that game at least was still going on. It might be finished now, but he did have an RBI tonight. So he'll be up to 44 RBIs. A little above pace because they're not quite to halfway mark, and he's almost there. So we need Jose to get hot. I know he had a game where he had 3 homers not too long ago. So I would love to see a couple more of those.
Yeah, no shit.
Um, the big one that you and I have been sweating pretty much the entire season here is Aaron Judge and his under 44.5 home runs. So he can hit 44, he just can't hit 45. He's at 19, which he had absolute rock star of a month of May. But he's now on the injured reserve list, which we kind of talked about the last few episodes. He hasn't come back yet. He just got a second injection of platelet enriched plasma in his big toe, and he hasn't returned to baseball activities yet. So hopefully he keeps going. Stay out. Make sure you're good. We don't want to rush anything.
Yeah,
Just
stay
be ready for the
healthy.
playoffs, right?
Stay healthy. Watch out for the coffee table. Take another 2 weeks off or something. Get get your mind right for the playoffs.
Go to Cabo, relax a little bit.
Exactly.
But yes, he was tearing it up. He put himself way over pace, but now he's kind of slowing down because it's on the injured reserve, which is nice. And when we talked about the goat whale, this was one of the reasons I took his under is because historically he does get hurt, and this is his second time already on the list this season. I don't ever hope for anyone to be hurt, but if he gets on there 2 or 3 more times, I wouldn't be sad.
Be surprised either.
No, not at all. Not based on his previous record. Um, Moving on to number 4, Ryan Presley. We need 33 saves. He's at 12, which he had a horrendous start to the season. Didn't get a save for like the first 3 weeks of baseball. Got 12 in about a month span. He's been kind of quiet lately. He did blow a save the other day and got a win, which sucks because they did win the game. He was the pitcher who got the win. He should have got the save, but he blew it. Hopefully, there's a couple close games here pretty soon that he can pick up a save in. Hopefully, tonight is one of them. And then his teammate Alex Bregman. We need 90 RBIs going into tonight's game. He had 40. Before we started this, he hit a 2-run homer. So he's at 42 now. And that game again was in the 6th inning, I think, when we started. So hopefully he got another one or another 2 tonight. That'd be awesome. Set up Presley for the save, and boom, nailing 2 birds with 1 stone. Obviously, there should be a 6th one, but Jacob DeGrom got pulled. So thank you, PrizePicks, for saving my
DNP
ass.
for the save. So we're all on pace.
Absolutely.
By or the All-Star game, we'll really be able to tell if we're actually halfway or not. But most of these are approaching halfway and on pace. So shout out to you. All the legs. So shout out to you for being on pace halfway through.
Right. It's looking at least where I'll have something to really look forward to for September and October ball. You know, sweating out every single one of these games. I ended up buying MLB TV so I can watch every game that I need to. So they had a little deal. So I was like, oh yeah, you know what?
Run it.
I'll do it. Yep, why not? Acuna still favorite for NL MVP, so that's another bet that I've talked about a whole lot. Strider's the favorite for the Cy Young in the NL, which is awesome to see. And
He's a dog.
he is. He is. Pete Alonso for the Mets is leading the NL in home runs, which I also had prior to the season. So keep it going, boys. We're looking good. We just got to finish it strong.
Looking damn good on the goat whale and your individual picks, dude.
Come on.
Come
Just
on,
keep going.
baby.
Just
Keep
keep
on
going.
rolling.
Finish strong. Finish strong. Speaking of MLB, we've kind of talked about how we want to go to a Tigers game as the Third Leg podcast. We've gone in the past. You know, we had a great time a few years ago, minus a broken ankle. Um, but looking at dates, if anyone wants to go with us, the dates that at least I'm available. Riley's still got to talk with the boss about dates that he could potentially do. But 3 or 4 dates that I have: Friday, July 7th, they're playing Toronto in Detroit. Toronto's a good team, stud packed lineup. I would love to see them play. Friday, August 25th against the Astros. Again, a team we've talked about all season long. They're AL, contenders for the World Series. Maybe we see Justin's playing for the Mets. Never mind. Maybe we see, Bregman and Presley do their thing for us for the Goat Whale. I'll be cheering for them for sure for that. And then in September, I have a Friday, Saturday. I could do the 8th or the 9th against the White Sox. Obviously not as big of names, but it's a game in September you can't be mad about, right?
Game in September. It's a win-win, baby.
Definitely. I think looking at the Toronto game, we could get 8 tickets in the bleachers in the outfield, which is like right in front of the bar there for like $35 or something like that. So, I mean, we got plenty of options, that's for sure.
So if you do plan on attending with us, just shoot us a message or whatever, and we can get a head count for which days work best, and then just roll with it from quicker the better for us, so we can get things figured out and get tickets and everything. So let us
Absolutely.
know. Don't be shy.
And I'm always down to go to the casino before, after, whatever anyone wants to do. Both, if everyone wants to. Who knows?
That's definitely a part of the plan. 100%.
TikTok live, YouTube live while at the Tigers game, talking about how many beers I've drank.
You gotta do the 9 or 9
No
dogs, 9
shot.
beers.
No
You couldn't do it?
shot. Hell no.
How many do you think you could do? Realistically, if you just in and you were up for the challenge. Say there was
I
like
don't know,
$100
because there's
on the
days
line.
where okay, the beer is going down nice and easy, and you're like, yeah, I could probably do, with the advanced pace, maybe 7 or 8 beers in a baseball game. The hot dogs would be tough. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a huge hot dog fan. They gotta have a little bit of the moist bun, because if it's dry as shit, I'm not eating that thing. Hell no.
Yashi, bro, and just dip it in your beer and slam her down.
That's true. I could do that.
I think
But
I'm a
go ahead.
little
What do you
over.
think?
I'm a little overzealous. I think I could do the 9 beers and have like 6 dogs.
Oh,
I
damn.
could do it. I could do it.
We'd definitely have to, whoever's going with us, start a little betting pool. Over, under, how many could you do? And then instead of doing it at the Tigers game where it's going to cost us $200, we could, pick
Do it
a
at
date
home.
to do it at home for
For
everyone.
sure, dude. I think the hardest part for me would be if you had to do it. Like, I couldn't just slam 2 beers in a row in one inning. Like, I had to wait till the inning started to drink my 1 beer and eat my 1 dog.
Yeah, you actually you can't just start out like Burial Cart, just pound, 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 and then slowly die off as it goes. No, you have to do one per inning.
One
Man.
per inning. That would be the hardest part, being like choking down the eighth and ninth hot dog. That eighth or ninth beer is probably going to end up outside on the bleacher somewhere.
I'm
Yeah,
not gonna lie, I'll probably put the line for myself at about 5.5.
5.5 dogs or beers or both.
Both.
By the sixth inning, you're cake.
Be- because, well, I just don't think I could keep up with the pace, right? Like, I don't know.
You'd
I
be
think I could do more beers.
innings.
Right. I could do more beers and less hot dogs, or I don't think I can do 6 or 7 hot dogs. I just don't think I could do it.
You sound do it.
I'll give it my best.
I think
But
we need to. I think we
a
should get
line
like
setter myself. I'm setting my line at 5.5. That's gonna
we
be a
need to
good
get
line.
like 5 watch party and see if we could all see how or who can do the most and if someone can actually do it in regulation.
Hey, I'm down to host. Anyone who wants to do it, let's go. Come on over.
And if it
I'll
goes
send
to
the address.
overtime, you got to have a 10th dog and beer too.
Ready to go.
Yeah. And there's 0% chance if I put down 9 fucking dogs.
For sure. And what's bad is if the home team's up, you got to finish that beer and dog in the half inning.
That's fucked up.
Get drinking. Get eating.
Yeah, dead ass. We're gonna have to put that on before we do it, like a playoff game or something,
I'm down.
or even the
that would be
All Star
fun.
game. Do they play 9 innings? So that'd be a good
Yep.
time to do it.
Yeah, that would
I
actually
think
probably
you
give
would
us longer.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think you'll have a little more time. They won't be. They won't give a shit
More
about the pitch clock.
commercials, they take longer, that kind of stuff.
I doubt they'll
Yeah.
give a shit about the pitch clock.
Right.
Let's try to think about that. We could maybe have James and Corey over. I think James could actually do it.
I wouldn't be surprised if he could. That man, he's an animal.
Make sure you hit Cletus up. I mean, we need to get the
We'll
dogs
get the big guys
out.
in there, yeah, for sure. We'll talk to whole Harry Stones. I'm sure he'll want to
Oh,
try.
dude, he hasn't ate 9 hot dogs in his whole life. He barely eats 9 green beans.
9 green beans and 9 beers. Can Warner do it?
Yeah. There's a small chance if he could do it.
For sure. For sure.
Top 5 today, basing it off of Kevin Durant and his failed super team losses. This is 5 best teams to never win a championship. And there's going to be a plethora of them that we miss, but we're only picking 5, so deal with it.
Feel
Go
free to comment your top 5.
Yeah, there's
let
definitely
us
going to be
know.
some that you feel a little more heavy-hearted to. Maybe it was your favorite team or whatever, and you thought they should have won. So just let us know in the comments or hit us up on Twitter.
For sure, for sure. You want to go first? You want me?
You go ahead.
Okay. So I have 4 teams and 1 individual because it's an individual sport that the person plays. Okay.
Okay.
So number 1, I have over your shoulder. You can see them there. The Brady Moss Patriots. Like, they went undefeated. I'm sure it's going to be on your list. They ran into Eli Manning and David Tyree. Arguably the greatest team that we've seen in our lifetime.
For sure.
For NFL as far as that goes. My number 2 is the 2001 Seattle Mariners. They went 116-46.
Jesus Christ.
Tied for the best record ever in baseball and didn't win the World Series.
How far did they make it that year?
I think they made it to the championship series and then lost. So
Damn.
they didn't go to the World Series. So
My boy, he needed
yeah, that
one,
was his
bro.
rookie year, I think. He was tearing it up. Number 3, the individual that I have is Johan Blake from Jamaica. I feel like he's the second fastest person of his era. He just unfortunately was running in the shadow of Usain Bolt and never got a chance to do what he could do. He has 2 Olympic gold medals. Both of them are in the 4x100, so it doesn't really count in
As a
my eyes, you
team.
know. Um, but if you watch the videos of like the U.S. versus Jamaica and that like come from behind win that they had, his splits are just absolutely ridiculous. And he's a great sprinter, just never won a gold.
He's like the shake and bake Ricky Bobby. What
Right,
if what if I won?
right.
If you won, then I wouldn't win.
So that's not possible. Sorry, bud.
Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, I didn't think about that.
For sure. 2012 Tigers are on my
Oh,
list.
oh,
The roster full of Miguel Cabrera, Prince Fielder, starting rotation of Doug Fister, Rick Porcello, Max Scherzer, Drew Smiley, Justin Verlander. Like, just saying the names, it hurts deep
and they
down because they should have freaking done it.
and
Just
they
couldn't get it
all
done.
went left, got a chip, played on great teams.
Right. The mid 2000, just after 2010 Tigers, when they had that string of years where they competed but never got it done. And then my fifth team, again another era team, I guess you could say, is the early 2000s Kings, Sacramento Kings, with Mike Bibby, Doug Christie, Peja Stojakovic, Chris Webber, and Vlade Divac. Like that, though, they had some great teams. They took the Lakers to the wire, and then people say it was rigged. The refs, had money on it and blew the game for them. You'll never know until the reports come out when the refs die. But I think they're probably the fifth best team for me at least.
It was the man. That was the 3-point sniper.
C Webb averaged like 27 points a game, and then Peja just dot. So he was fun. I always played with that team in NBA Live when it first came out. I was a big Mike Bibby, Peja Stojakovic guy. So
Dude, the Kings are poverty. If they didn't win with that team, they're fucked.
it's true. I mean, but the NBA had it rigged, so Shaq and Kobe got to play, and they got the win.
I wouldn't be surprised. That probably is rigged. There's been too many playoff games that have come out to be like, yeah, we went into this like the Iverson one. Like, yeah,
Right.
we're gonna call Iverson on carries for he had like 7 carries that game.
And they hadn't called all season. Like, what the
Yeah,
hell?
they just decided and place a massive bet on the other team. Just so happened.
Right. Shocker.
All right,
Who do you got?
my Bills losing 4 straight Super Bowls.
Yep, that is rough.
As an organization, that's unlucky. They're the only team
Jim
ever to lose
Kelly.
4 straight. So they got to be number one just because they were so
Feel
fucking
bad for their
close.
kicker. Yeah,
Yeah, he misses a 47-yarder for the loss.
that's wide right,
Unlucky.
isn't that what it is?
Yeah. Then I got number 2, Miami Hurricane McGahee.
Another great team. I think 2001 Hurricanes, right? Yeah.
Yep. Or this was 2002.
2002. Okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
this is 2002. And then number 3, another college football team, the USC Trojans with Reggie Bush and Leinart.
Yep. That
That's
is
a tragic year, being
when we lost to
easily,
Vince Young.
easily top 2 best teams in the country all year. If we had a different playoff format, it would have been a little different.
Right.
Lost that game and still went to the playoffs, and then you would have got to see him play again eventually. And then I have Golden State 2015 being 73-9 and having taken an L. They
Yep.
they changed a few role players the next year when they won or whatever, but that year alone having the best record, it kind of emulates the New England Patriots going undefeated, having the best record and losing in the finals.
Right.
But being up 3-1 in the finals and losing that goes a long
Unheard
way.
of. Right.
That goes a
Yep.
long way. Yeah. And then obviously the Patriots 2007 16-0 Randy Moss. And then number 6 honorable mention was OKC with Harden, Russ, Baca.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they got outed by Dirk, who ended up obviously putting LeBron in the shadow realm. JJ Barrera locking him up. That roster alone, I think even 20 years from now, you'll look back and see what Russ's his stats were, KD, and then how Harden Harden had ever. Like individually, they have done so much, and the fact that they're on the same, they didn't even make the finals. I think that'll go down
Right.
as one of the best teams in NBA history that didn't make a finals.
I can't. I mean, I can't argue with your top five right there and your honorable mention because those teams are just. You think of like our era, who are teams that were like, holy crap, they lost, or you look at okay, this roster was jam packed, kind of like what we talked about with the Tigers. OKC is one of them. You look at them and you're like, damn, how do you not win a championship?
And then the Falcons, just because of the lead they had in the, you kind of think like if you look back at that, you're like, all right, how the fuck did you guys choke that away? People were already celebrating.
Dude, I was like low key. I was cheering for the Falcons that game. And right, yeah, call it as you see it, I guess. And I don't know. I was like, I'm going to my buddy Tyler's house, and I'm like, okay, yep, it's halftime. I'm up huge. We're good. I can start just watching commercials, bullshitting with everyone. I don't have to watch the game that hard. And all of a sudden, here comes time. Here comes time. Overtime. Nope. Good night.
And then that
I,
Edelman catch, dude. That's one of the
one of
best
the best
catches
ever.
ever. Yeah. It'll go
For
down in
sure.
history. You'll see it like any Super Bowl like commercial leading up to the game, like they play old highlights and shit. That'll be number one. Like they will always play that.
That catch, the David Tyree catch, those two are, obviously going to go down in history for sure.
Yeah, especially in our generation. I don't think I think people will tell their kids about some of those catches.
Right.
Especially if you're a fan of those teams or
Kind of like
of
the
those catches.
immaculate reception and stuff like that. You know how big of a play that was back in the day.
For
How
sure.
it's just keeps getting played over and over and over and over again. Those two plays will go down for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Especially for our kids, like they will see those plays.
Mm-hmm. And the interception at the goal line, that kind of stuff.
Dude, that's another team, Seattle. They should have
Yep.
had that shit, bro. That ruined
For sure.
Marshawn.
It really did. Like you look at his career up until that point, and then after that point,
Yeah, cool. Like, why
for
didn't they
sure.
just give me the ball?
Coach, why am I not good enough?
Why am I not good enough, coach? That's sad.
It is. It is sad.
Unlucky. All right, you got any final words? Final shout outs? Anything to tell the
Just
listeners?
just to continue to thank everyone for their support of us. Obviously, as we talk about the dog days of sports podcast for sure. Content's going to be, as we get it, we'll talk about it, right? But we can't force anything to happen. That we do have a little mini schedule of things that we want to kind of talk about throughout the summer as we have 9 weeks until college football games start and 11 weeks till the NFL starts. So we want to get through that stuff and we will get through that stuff, but we also want to hear from you guys. If you have ideas or you have a top five you want to hear, or you just want to give us something that you would like to hear our reaction to, hey, send it to us, text it to us, DM us. It doesn't matter. My phone's always going off, so let me know.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate you guys for episode. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Peace.